Yes, good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace, Inc., and the producer of this show, and the chairman of United in Peace, Inc., and the executive director of this show is Miss Terry Marsh. And as you all know, I'm blessed by God that she's my wife. We got a very interesting show today. Just found out that, first let me back up a little bit. I want to say to God be the glory, and I want to send the condolences to Kanika Jenkins' family from myself, my wife Terry, and from our staff at United in Peace, Inc. It's my understanding that the funeral is tomorrow. I don't know the exact address, but those that's viewing this or listening to this, you could Google about for the funeral arrangements for Miss Jenkins. And again, we send our condolences to her family. Now, as I was saying, found out today that Twitter says 200 accounts was tied to Russia. And the wild thing about that, those accounts was used to interfere in the 2016 election, to sway and to influence the American voters. My question is this. There was a lot of elections during 2018. United States senatorial races and congressional races. Could it possibly be that those Republican governors and congressmen who siding with the president as if there were no interference in the 2016 elections? Could it possibly be that those that ran against those individuals, their elections may be tainted as well as the presidential election? I'm just asking from what I'm reading, because I'm seeing congressmen and senators acting like the Russians didn't interfere. Is it because the Russians may have been interfering in their elections? Just asking the question. Okay. Big news today. Well, it was yesterday. Everyone was screaming about the soda tax, and a lot of people felt as if there was an individual who was going to run against President Tony Preckwinkle. I thought he was going to run. A lot of people thought he was going to run. But I guess he realized it wasn't right, or it didn't make sense for him to run. We're talking about Commissioner Boykin. Commissioner Boykin Cook County Commissioner Boykin made the decision that he won't run against Tony Preckwinkle. I want to say to Commissioner Boykin, hooray, hooray, hooray. Because he still has a vote within the Cook County government. He could still vote for the tax to be repealed. I'm asking that the commissioners that made a decision to vote for the tax just stay true, because you got a responsibility to make sure that those services are provided for the people within Cook County, especially at hospitals like Roseland Hospital and Providence Hospital. And one thing I do know, If you can't hire enough people to assist the indigent people within Cook County that's coming to get those services, you'll have more of a problem than trying to provide the revenue in order to hire people to do it. Sometimes you got to take hard votes for the betterment of the constituents that you were elected to serve. Okay, for all those that's with the tax and those that don't like the tax, I listen to your opinion, I respect your opinion, and I accept your opinion. I just gave you mine. Everyone is making an issue about taking a knee. And I'm seeing where the president and others is trying to make it seem like the individuals taking the knees is disrespecting veterans and the United States flag and the United States Constitution. That is not why they're taking a knee. They're taking a knee against police brutality and racism. And I'm of the opinion that's what made some of the owners of the different football teams join with team members on both sides of the equation of that conversation. Whether you wanted to take a knee, whether you wanted to stand up for the national anthem, they all did that together to let the world know that everyone has a right to what they believe in. But on this, it's twisted. It's like those individuals are against the flag and this country and the veterans, the men and women who has fought the various wars on behalf of the United States. That's not what the knee is about. And even to the point where here in Chicago, you see where two officers joined with an activist to show that they was unified against police brutality and racism. And my whole thing is, a lot of people feel, or some people feel, that they ought to be reprimanded because they violate the rules of taking a political stance while they was in uniform. They may have broke the rule, and I hope they don't lose their jobs. But that was a powerful picture to me because it shows where officers are reaching out to deal with the community on concerns that affect the Afro-American community. And right now we need anything that shows where the community and the police department are coming together around something that makes sense to us all. That is, police brutality is an issue and racism is an issue. Caller, could you please state your name? Because your opinion is expected and respected on this show. Caller?
Yes, sir, Mr. Gator. My name is Ray.
Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Okay, you know what? To me, I fought in the Vietnam War, got a few medals. I didn't do it because I had to. I did it for me, the pride of this country, the pride of my family. That's gone now. Everybody wants something for nothing. And that's what gets me mad. I don't care if them football players stand up. I don't like them kneeling, but I don't mind them standing up. They can hold on. They can do whatever they want. They're still respecting the flag as far as I'm concerned.
Right. You
start kneeling and giving the finger on TV, That's out of the place.
Right. Hey, Ray. I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but
for everybody.
Right. Hey, Ray. But I agree with you. That's why I was stating those individuals. They're not disrespecting the flag. They not protesting against the flag. They're not protesting against the veterans. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then did you fight in the Vietnam War? You know, if you were in the Vietnam War, you know there was a lot of people, including the soldiers, that felt like that was an illegal war. Okay? But these individuals are protesting.
Excuse me, Gator. Even if it was not a proper war, the thing is, you go for your country for pride.
Right. But hey, Ray, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. This protest is not about or against the flag. The president put that out there so a lot of people can feel like it's a protest against the flag. I guess to cover up the racism that's in this country. I don't know. I just know the president is a divisive individual and he's been using that. You know, so the next issue, thanks Ray for calling too. Last week or the last 2 weeks, I've been talking about this credit company or this company when you go try to get a loan and they want to make sure you got good credit. They run it by this Equifax. I hope that's the correct spelling. I've been calling it Equifax and all kind of facts. But the fact of the matter is this: 143 million people. Information was hacked to the point that whoever hacked that information can engage in over 143 identity thefts. That is so powerful that the mayor and the chairman of the finance committee have come to an agreement where they're willing to sue Equifax because they feel that out of that 143 million, they believe that at least 5 million may be from Illinois and at least 1 million within the city of Chicago. And they're suing to get money because they believe that the action of Equifax violated a city ordinance dealing with fraud. If Rob gets every dollar that he's seeking from Equifax, he could repeal the $1.3 billion in property tax increases he's already imposed for police, fire, and the teacher's pension. What's more likely, however, is that the mayor may gain political capital by filing one of many lawsuits triggered by the company's massive data breach. But the thing is, the circuit court suit, first reported by the Sun-Times columnist Mike Sneed, says it seeks up to $10,000 in daily penalties for every single Chicagoan exposed to identity theft because of the company's failure to protect their incredibly sensitive personal data and properly inform them when that information was comprised. That's wonderful. But what if it was you and your information was comprised? Where do you receive a benefit? How can you receive a benefit? That's a question you need to ask your alderman for them to ask the mayor's corporate lawyer so that you can inform, so that they can inform their constituents in case there's a class action. That's just my opinion. I feel like if they about to get the money for the city, then those who's personally being affected ought to be able to receive something as well. That's my opinion. I don't know about yours. But I do know that every time you try to get a loan, try to go and buy a car, or try to get a credit card, your personal information end up in Equifax, and they didn't want to make decisions. You should get that loan, so you should get some money for your name being hacked. Caller, could you please state your name?
Yes, hey Gator, this is Steve, man. And
Hey, Steve.
I haven't talked to you in a little while. But let me tell you, I don't know, people really think we are crazy. And Equifax is one of the two other entities that the human beings use. That's their measuring stick that they use to see whether you are a good person to have credit or a bad person to have credit.
Correct.
Again, it's nothing but a game. They take everything and try to use things. Let me tell you, Equifax, the only thing they have to do is say, nope, he don't have enough money, his credit's bad, and you can't get a car. Matter of fact, not a car, you won't be able to get an apartment.
That's what I'm saying.
But
So I don't mean to cut you off. I agree with you. And I believe you understand what I'm saying, that if the city can sue them, I think everyone has a right to look at what the suit is, and if the city has a right because they violated the ordinance and the law. The residents of that city
You go to United States government.
Hey, I'm with you. All that I'm saying, just what you just said. If this company had the power to make it where you couldn't get a home loan or an auto loan,
Yeah.
and that information that you entrusted them with to show that you was worthy, because the individual that they fired, you know what I'm saying? I gotta cut you off, but I want to say this because I got another caller coming on. The individual who was the CEO, he resigned and he got a parachute where he's getting $90 million. $90 million. Why should he be compensated? And the people don't get compensated. I just, my opinion, just asking questions from what I read, you know. And while I'm reading, everybody was wondering if Governor Ronald was going to sign that abortion bill law. House Bill 40. I personally am glad that he signed it, because I don't believe government should have say-so over the rights of a woman's body, depending on making the decision if she should have a child or not. You know, that's my stance on it from a man's point of view, not a woman. I don't know what they go through to have a baby, but I know they go through a lot because I hear them screaming when the baby come out. You know, so Governor Ronald, I know you're going to catch a lot of slack for that. But for the women of Illinois, I join them by saying hooray, hooray, hooray. You know, I always get at you when you're wrong. I got to give you a hooray when you're right. And while we are on the topic of the governor and the governor's race, I see where Kennedy says he'll run Illinois as a feminist. What do that mean? He will run Illinois as a feminist. We had Ronald said that he'll run Illinois another way, and then he ran Illinois where we didn't have a budget for 2 years. So what do this mean? He'll run as a feminist. Do that mean that African American concerns will be addressed when it comes to African Americans getting a fair share of jobs and contracts and appointments within state government? Do that mean that the people who's working for the state will not be discriminated against because of bogus investigations? What do that mean he would run as a feminist? Caller, if you got an answer to this question that I'm asking about Kennedy saying he's going to run Illinois as a feminist, state your name and voice your opinion. Caller?
Well, hey, Wallace, this is Pat.
Hey, Pat, how you doing? Whatever you want to talk
I'm
about,
good.
state your
I
opinion.
got a question.
Yes. Come on.
So, my question is, wasn't Rauner against pro-choice at first?
No, he come out and said that he was pro-choice. You know what I'm saying? He did that. Okay. Then, because of the conservative Republicans who voted that he needed to tie up, the budget and all that type of stuff, he made promises even to the cardinal that he wouldn't sign that bill. Okay, so that's why they upset with him signing that bill, because they feel like he lied to them. But he always said that he was a pro-choice kind of guy.
And I stand corrected.
Okay, yeah, he said pro-choice kind of guy.
You're ready to say a good political move.
Oh, ain't no question about that. I'm glad that you said that. That's just what that was. Boy, I'm telling you, I love talking to an educated voter. All right, love you, boo.
Thank you, baby. Love you too.
Okay.
And thank you and my sister for today.
Oh, that's what we do. If you don't talk, we don't know.
There you go.
All right.
Have a good one. Love you guys.
Okay, then. Sports. It's my understanding that Young canceled their whole football season because a couple of guys wasn't academically prepared or qualified to be on the team. That don't mean the whole team wasn't qualified. The school just made that decision to cancel the football season because they didn't have enough eligible players to be on the team. So for whatever reason that they made that decision, I'm glad they did, because Wendy Young is known for academics, and I'm sure they'll get that together. Well, now Facebook, we all know that Russia brought a lot of Facebook ads to interrupt the 2016 election. So that's Twitter. Is that why they don't cut the president's Twitter account? I don't know. I'm just asking the question from what I read. Now they say Russia brought a bunch of Twitter ads. And now, Facebook. Who's behind the ads? More people want to know. They realize someone from Russia was buying all the ads and they used it for... They know what's happening, people. The NSA, Snowden told us this country know everything that's happening everywhere. So I don't know why they're having all these investigations. Okay? They know who did wrong. They know that Trump and them was engaged in collusion now, and it went from collusion to possible obstruction of justice. They found out that the president's son-in-law didn't tell the truth about the emails, his personal emails that he used to conduct businesses during the campaign. That was an issue with Hillary Clinton. You follow what I'm saying? So we all know what's happening. I'll just be glad when they get down to the fine points of finding out, did some of those senators or congressmen, were they in collusion with the Russians to make sure that they win? That question is about to come up real shortly. I want to say that, because I'm coming to a close, I think we all need to take time and touch one another, hold one another, starting with our loved ones, and say how much we love them and appreciate them. And with that, I want to say I'll see you next week, and to God be the glory. Don't choke, vote in 2018.